There's like some, some touchy subjects when it comes to disciplining your children with physical discipline, or like, just kind of like yelling to, like, not yelling, but like being stern. There's a lot of like, tiptoeing around that subject. For me, my opinion on that is, hey YouTube, and welcome back to Inspire Your Space. So last week, as you guys know, we started a brand new series called Testimonial Quotes, and this series was literally created from scratch. I just thought, like, okay, I have so many testimonies I would like to share with you guys, but how am I going to do it? Okay, what's another deep thing that people usually use to explain the topic? And I was like, oh, the quotes. Like, everybody literally uses quotes, or people love to relate to quotes. I think it's super fun because, I kind of do these things on the spot. I don't know what testimony is going to come out of my mouth when I read the quote. So we're going to just jump right in again. We have another testimony for you guys, but we don't know what type of testimony it's going to be. We first got to find out what this quote is. Okay, so reaching into the Ruthie cup, 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 reaching into the Ruthie cup. Actually, a fun fact about this cup is that I usually, I don't actually drink from it. I don't know why, but I don't drink from it. I just, I put like pens and like paper clips and other miscellaneous nonsense in it. Maybe I don't want to like spoil it or whatever, but like you would think that the best use of it is like what it's actually supposed to be used for, which is to drink from. So I'm probably gonna use it tonight. We'll see. But okay, pull out a testimony quotes. Okay, we got one, guys. Okay, so ooh, okay, so this one does not technically apply to me yet, but the concept does. And also I have like some backdrop story to it that like it does kind of apply to me, but not in like a particular sense. You'll see. Okay, so it says, don't handicap your children, I ain't got children yet, by making their lives easy. And this is by Robert A. Heinlein. I hope that's how you pronounce his name, Heinlein. So he was just a science fiction author, and also like he had multiple like different roles. Like he was an author, he was a naval officer, and he just basically broke mainstream with his work. Like basically he, like his interest in science fiction was able to break mainstream. Like his books, like a lot of people like began to be interested in his work because, he just had different ideas and thoughts that related to people in society. So don't handicap your children by making their lives easy. Okay, so first of all, how does this apply to me? The first thing that comes to my mind when I think of this is discipline. Discipline is very, very important because it's like that necessary evil. Like, I don't even want to say necessary evil because it's really not. Like, it seems evil because the way society shapes it to look like, but it's really not. And discipline could come in many forms. So for my family, I grew up in a Nigerian household. Okay, I grew up in a Nigerian household, and I actually, guys, I was a really, really good child. I was a great child, and I didn't need that much discipline. Okay, I hope that that's how other people see it. But I just basically grew up with a lot of siblings, and yeah, here and there we would, get disciplined for, I guess, like going over time of watching a TV show, or like, arguing with each other, or like just silly things. Like we never really, it was just things that children do that they're probably not supposed to do. But I look back now today and I'm like, it really, really, really was mandatory to be disciplined, because if I wasn't disciplined, I would still just have the same mindset as a child. I would still have like the same like thoughts and like desires and like opinions as a child. It's very important to discipline your children so that they can, learn from their mistakes It's very important to learn from your mistakes, because in adult life, you're going to have to learn from your mistakes. You know, you can either learn the hard way, you can learn, you know, the easy way. Discipline also helps you to realize that the world does not revolve around you. And last but certainly not least, it gives you tough skin. So when you get disciplined, it's painful at first. It's painful. But then, you know, you remember it. You remember it. What causes you not to want to do it again is remembering it. So since you remember, you're like, okay, I'm not gonna do that again. And so that instance helps you or saves you from, like, you know, getting a worse punishment or worse outcome later in the future. So discipline is good. As for, you know, me, let's hypothetically say I have children, like a child, you know, 5 years from now, and they do something wrong. Now, I know that there's like some, you know, some touchy subjects when it comes to disciplining your children with physical discipline, or like, you know, just kind of like yelling to, like, not yelling, but like being stern. There's a lot of, like, you know, tiptoeing around that subject. For me, my opinion on that is it really depends on the situation. I do know that physical discipline is not going to kill you, but there always has to be a reason why you're disciplining them, and there has to be boundaries of, like, you know, hitting somebody or hitting a child. People do remember pain, like physical pain. It's almost like a necessary evil, but a lot of times when people do remember physical pain, it could turn into trauma. So you just have to, you know, gauge the situation and be wise. What is called for at this moment? You know, not every moment is called for a slap on the wrist, and not every moment is called for, you know, being firm and stern and saying things in a loud way. But you just have to gauge the situation and see which one is needed at that moment. And honestly, both may not even be needed at that moment. A lot of times, the way you can get to a child, or the way that you can get to somebody, is by being understanding, gentle, sweet, etc. So hopefully that answers this quote. It says, let's just read it one more time. Don't handicap your children by making their lives easy. Don't let them, you know, this could be interpreted in a whole other way now that I think about it. By making their lives easy. So don't handicap them by, that can either be by discipline or by not allowing them to go through specific circumstances. Or if they have to, you know, drive on the road and get a ticket for speeding, even though you told them not to, if they have to learn through that way, let them pay the ticket. So hopefully that makes sense to you guys, and hopefully you guys can relate to my parents out there. I never thought I would be speaking to parents, but I mean, I'm inspired by y'all, because one day I am going to be a parent, and I want to make sure that I can, you know, raise really good, nice, wise children. So I'll make sure to see you guys this Thursday, so stay tuned, subscribe, like, and comment. You know, maybe you're like, well, what are your thoughts on disciplining a child? Or what are your thoughts on, you know, allowing your children to go through specific circumstances for them to learn? Bye!